everyone by saying we're live. So we've got here today, we're going to be doing the card holder live from Sewfisticated Craft Designs. If you haven't seen it yet, go check it out. This is actually my everyday wallet. I absolutely love this pattern. I've been using this wallet for about a year now, so it's a little bit thrown around. But this is what we're going to be doing. If you don't have the pattern, go on to Sewfisticated Craft Designs and you can purchase it on there. Or here's a little tip. If you join the Sewfisticated Craft Facebook page, you're able to get a code to download it for free. So that's a really great tip there. Anyway, I've got some guests with me today. They're already here, so they're sitting here quietly. So I've got Jassie from Sewfisticated Craft Design. She is the mastermind, the designer, the founder of Sewfisticated Craft Designs and Sewfisticated Supplies. I've also got Nikki from Resin Melody, who's joining me. Nikki has been, is it doll making? Is that what I call it?
No, I started out exclusively sewing like clothes, wigs, accessories, and customizing collectible artist dolls.
There we go. And then we moved on into bags about 6 months ago, 9 months ago?
About a year ago.
Yeah. So we've been friends for a year now. Yay! We've also got Jenn from Jenn's Homemadeology. She's going to be joining us soon. She's on Mama Bear duty at the moment, but she will be jumping on as soon as she can. So according to this, I've already got a few of you guys watching. So drop us some messages, say hi, let us know who you are, where you're watching from. And hopefully it's coming through on my chat and that I can see you all. So I want to start talking about why we decided on this pattern. So first of all, of course, we've got Jassie here, so why not use one of her patterns? But also this is actually one of my favorite patterns to use in terms of selling and scraps. So if you don't have the pattern, go have a look at it, because the pieces that you need are perfect for scraps. So for example, these two side pieces here, it's literally this tiny little bit. You have that size scrap somewhere. Your front panel here, it's this size. It fits on my hand. You have that size scrap. I don't know what your guys' scrap bins are like. Mine's bad. This is my handy scrap bin. If I really wanted to go through it, I could probably make like 50 of these. And these sell really good if you're a seller. Oh, sorry. I know Nikki's just started trying to sell, and you've cut a few of these out, haven't you?
Just a few. So you can kind of see in the background. Oh yeah, some of my dolls are in the background. But that bin is my vinyl scraps. I can't quite reach it at the moment, so I didn't pull it down. But yeah, the other day I just quickly started cutting out based on what fit the pattern pieces, and I've got 8, I think, cut out between vinyl and lining. So
yeah, so you're ready to go.
Yeah.
I've got Rochelle's just jumped on as well. She's just joined us in from Connecticut. This is so fun. So for me, obviously I'm in Australia if the accent's not obvious. Jassie's from Singapore. Nikki's in the US. And I've just had Diane join us as well from the UK. Oh, it's midnight and she's up. Oh, that's so lovely. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
I was bringing that up into the UK.
The timing is so hard to get
for
everyone.
It is. That's what I was trying to work out, because I'm like, if we go earlier, people still at work in the US. But let us know. So if you enjoy watching the lives, let us know what times you like and what time works for you guys, and let's see what we can do. So there's enough of us in enough time zones to make it work.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Do we want to, while we're waiting on Jen, do we want to talk a little bit about what kind of fabrics we're using? So for me, I was inspired by this scrap. So yeah, I have scraps literally in my scrap bin that range from like this size, like an inch by an inch and a half, to like these. So this is what I've got left over from a travelnizer that I made, I want to say a year and a half ago now. I think it was for a Christmas present last year. So maybe a year ago. So I got inspired by that. And then so I went digging through my scrap bin to see what else I could find. And I have this gorgeous weave that I'm going to use as my solid. So that's a vinyl. This is the scraps that I have for a bag that I've just made that you guys will see very soon. I can't talk about it yet, but this is it. And I have a confession. This isn't from my scrap bin. So I tried digging through my scrap and I couldn't find a vinyl piece that matched with my Star Wars theme. So I had to go and cut one personally, specially.
Specifically?
Yeah. Specifically, that's the one. I've only ever made card holders with vinyls, vinyl and foil leather. So that's what I'm sticking with. I know, Jassie, you designed it that you can work it for all types of fabric.
Yes, I did make with cotton before, all woven cotton, but you just need to fuse with interfacing.
There you go. And I'm lazy. I don't like interfacing. So for my linings, I've actually got Vibrant Boo and I've got twills, sophisticated twills. So both from Sophisticated Supplies. And that's the materials that I'll be using. What about, did you guys actually go scrap bin hunting or were you cheating like me?
Me? Oh no, mine's all scrap.
All scrap.
Good. Oh, so I'm the only one who cheated. I think though, and I'm going to throw Jen under the bus while she's not here, but I saw Jen post what she was going to do, and I don't think she's using scraps either. So
yeah, this is butter.
I think so. I'm not sure.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm also
I
using
just want to
twill,
talk about.
but I'm using twill for your cut slot. And the vibrant.
You're using twill.
Yes.
Oh no! What about? Are you using twill and vibrant boo too, Nikki, or?
Well, Sam, I think you're gonna have a heart attack because all of mine is twill for the lining and the card slots, and my vinyl is all sophisticated as well. Yeah.
Oh my
so
God.
yeah, if anybody saw my Pandora lure, this was the print that I used for the pockets external. Actually, it's right.
And Rochelle is also not using scrap. She's gone and cut it out specifically. So seriously, Rochelle, next time try and dig through your scrap bin, because it's almost like if you sell as well, which I do. I sell these for 35 Australian dollars at the moment. So, and if you pretty much get all of this from scraps, which is what I do most of the time, your only real cost is the zipper tape in your zipper in your zipper. So these are like free money.
But pennies, yeah, it costs pennies in materials.
Yeah, exactly, and they're amazing. And yeah, I showed you guys my dodgy one that I've somehow lost now. I shouldn't call it my dodgy one. So the one that I use day to day, and it's so great. My favorite thing is the clear pouch here. So if you have patterned clear, go with the patterned clear for something a bit cute. But if you are using this, I don't know how many countries do ID cards because Australia we have driver's licenses, but no one really looks at them. In Hong Kong, you have Hong Kong ID cards, and you can be asked to show it at any point, and it's illegal to not have it. So that would be something that I would have a clear, just be able to, hey, this is me.
What
In the
size
front
is your
slot,
ID card?
yeah.
Your driving license? What is the
Yeah,
size?
so our driver's license is our ID card, but you don't really have to show it. So we don't use it often.
Yeah, it's the
Because
same size.
that was designed for the vaccination for during that pandemic period. So that was why it was being, the front was clear. However, you actually can do both side cut slot. That's what I did yesterday, and that is my personal wallet on daily basis. So the pattern is kind of interchangeable.
Oh, I like that.
I'm like,
oh,
well,
you
guess
shouldn't
we
have
know
told
what
me
Sam's
that.
doing next one.
Because I don't use the clear ID, a clear portion, but today I'll be doing the clear portion. So to me, the cut slot is more practical for my daily usage. You
See,
can actually change
this
it
is
up.
the problem with Jassie. She gives you too many options. It's like things that I didn't even know I needed. Do you know, I gave 5 of these out as Christmas presents last year, just to a couple of close friends, and they all use it. I converted a person who uses like those big ginormous wallets to one of these. So
Wow.
I don't know what I've done with mine. I've thrown it around somewhere. But even though there's only 2 slots, I have like 4 or 5 of my most used cards on the front, and then everything else inside. My clear at the moment, this is embarrassing. Okay. The clear at the moment is where I store things that I'm supposed to be doing. So my kids do football classes and they get badges. So their badges go in my clear pouch until I can sew it onto their football jersey. And also my McDonald Monopoly is running in Australia at the moment. So if it does, I don't know if they do that in Singapore and the US. So all of my little McDonald tabs are in there. It's embarrassing because I tell Charlie, my partner, oh, I don't go to McDonald's that often. And then he sees my wallet and it's just like full of Monopoly tabs.
You will go.
Yeah.
Oh, something weird just happened.
Yeah, I like to use it for my ID.
Yeah.
Just because there's so many instances where like I'll get carded or ask for an ID or whatever, and it's just easier to just show the clear pocket rather than pull out the card.
Is that a humble brag? Oh, I get carded. I've not been carded in years.
No, there's things like, man, I can't say that because you're gonna give me crap about that one. No, there's places that we go where we have to park and I have to show a pass and an ID and make sure that they match.
I think I know what place you're talking about. It's a very happy place.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. Happiest place in the world.
It's not fair. It's so not fair. I have to hop on planes to go there. Oh.
Well, if anybody hasn't caught on, I'm talking about parking at Disney World.
No, Nikki literally lives like, I say like minutes away, but it's apparently not minutes away, but from Disney World, and it's not fair.
It's an hour. It used to be.
That's close enough.
But our house is an hour. It's an hour away. But my partner also works there, so it's a little bit different.
Let's just keep throwing it in there. In case anyone hasn't noticed, I am Disney obsessed, and she's the one who gets to live there. Oh.
And we're supposed to meet in Hong Kong? 2 years? 1 year?
Yeah, we're talking about doing a sophisticated craft trip to Hong Kong. So that Facebook group actually eventuates. We can all just walk down the streets all wearing our Pandora allures. I assume a Pandora allure. That would have to be the day bag for Disney at the moment. Oh no, but the bee hips.
No, I will be wearing my bee hip.
You're cheating on the bee hip.
No, it's too hard
Such
a
a
choice.
disappointment.
I used my bell when I went to Disneyland Paris. But Charlie, my partner, I made him wear the large fold and zip backpack.
Nathan has a fold and zip pixie that we attach his leash
I saw
to.
the photo. It's adorable.
It's so cute.
Yeah. So he wears the fold and zip pixie with the backpack straps.
Oh, love it.
Size small.
I love those backpack straps. If anyone hasn't seen the backpack straps yet, so there's a bunch of patterns, not just sophisticated craft patterns, that have like a ability to turn a bag from a crossbody to a backpack with a, what are they called? Like a webbing strap.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it with my bell. I wore my bell as a backpack in Paris, and it works, but it's not comfortable for long periods. And Jassie designed these detachable backpack straps, and they're pure genius. I don't have it near me at the moment. I'm trying to look to see if I can see it. But if you haven't seen them, hop onto the website, have a look at them. They're so comfy. They're like proper backpack straps, but you just clip it on and clip them off when you don't want them. It's perfect.
Yeah, there's a swivel hook on each end.
Yeah. Jassie's running away.
Say,
oh, she's got one
is,
somewhere.
but I don't know that I can reach it.
This is a detachable backpack strap.
There we go. Yeah.
This is tote pack and Odyssey. Sorry,
I still haven't made the tote pack yet. I've got the pattern, but I'm sure most of you guys are like me. Hopefully, how many times do we haven't made it? There's too many. I don't want to know actually.
Too many.
How dare you call people out? How dare you call people out like that?
I know, right? I really shouldn't. Okay, I'm going to ask a question and see who's actually watching us and paying attention. So I have a question about scraps. What size is the smallest scrap that you will keep? Because that's something that I have a problem with. So yesterday I was cutting a bunch of stuff up. I had a piece that was 1 inch wide. Do I keep it? Like vinyl, maybe? Fabric, do you? Like what's... Once in a while, if you get a half D-ring tab, you could use that 1 inch. Or am I just hoarding now?
Depends. Let's see what happens in chat.
I mean, it really depends. But for me, sometimes it's too much. I will probably discard it. But it is very useful unless you have a dedicated bin for D-ring tag.
That's a good idea, actually. So I actually have a designated bin for the smaller pieces.
Yeah, so for me, it depends on what I'm making. So I make too many things, like too many types of things. So sewing for dolls that are the most common, like the smallest common size that I sew for is 30 centimeters tall. So you get down to those like itty bitty sizes.
Yes.
Even like I have one that's 16 centimeters tall. So like the scraps that seem really teeny tiny when you're looking at human sizes are pretty substantial for some of the dolls. So for me, it depends on material.
A couple of comments that just popped in too. So Rochelle, she keeps 1 inch handies for tabs, but lately she's been discarding because she's got whole rows. Why save a little piece? And that's a problem I have. I save everything, but I'm too lazy to pull them out. So, and I've also, this one's actually really cool. So bunch of crafting, is it Iona? I hope I'm saying the name right. So she's saying she keeps really small ones, because you can use them for tension testing on your machine. Like, I have not thought of that. I waste so much fabric because I don't bother machine. I never test my tension. I'm just like, oh, I can do this. And then seam ripper. Oh, seam ripper. I forgot to pull my seam ripper out today. Oh no, it's here. It's okay. We're safe. Sorry. If any of you don't know this yet, I call this the seam ripper curse. If your seam ripper isn't near your machine, you're going to need it. Oh, bunch of crafty again. You can also use it for stuffing. I think Jassie's disappeared again. Back. Because Jassie and I are almost purely bag makers. We don't do anything but bags. So,
but you do sew clothes, right, Sam? I saw you sew for Charlie. I've
tried. I don't know how people sew clothes. It's so hard. It's too hard for me. I'm like, I will stick to bag making. We've got a couple more.
Yeah.
So Diane doesn't keep scraps anymore. She doesn't use it, only keep the leather scraps. I'm actually genuinely starting to wonder about that with me. I refuse to throw things out because, okay, maybe I am a hoarder. I don't know. But I just feel like even though I've used the value of it, maybe there's still some value there. So I don't know, but yeah. It's hard.
Realistically, what I've learned is there's only value in fabric if you're actually going to use it. So if you accumulate scraps and you don't ever use them, all they're doing is taking up space that could be used for fabric that you will use. So that's something that I've had to learn over the years with doing all the doll stuff, because it is very tempting to keep those itty bitty scraps of, cotton woven or cotton lycra, because I sew at such a tiny scale for those things. But yeah, I had a wake up call one time when I was moving. My partner and I used to move like every other year. And, after a while you get really sick of moving the same things over and over and over when you don't even open the box since the last time you moved. So, ever since then, I've been really careful to make sure that I do actually use the scraps, and I do try to keep them sorted by fabric type. So like that top bin up there is vinyl scraps, underneath that is cotton woven. I have another bin for cotton lycra and another bin for like twill and vibrant butte.
But it makes sense because you make dolls and you need small pieces. I would do so too.
Yeah. Yes, Natalie. Man, moving. That'll make you go through everything.
I do not even want to think about moving with the amount of fabric I have at the moment. That's no, I don't even want it. No.
Tell me about it.
Now is our family home. We moved here from Hong Kong, oh God, 15, 20 years ago, I don't know. And we still have boxes in the laundry of my Barbie dolls. So we still haven't unpacked from a 20-year-old move.
It happens. And now they're vintage.
Yeah. Although they're well loved. They're definitely not like the ones where I can probably put on YouTube, not YouTube, eBay and make some money out of.
But moving is really a chore. I remember I moved 5 times in 4 years. It's hectic. And it's draining.
Yeah.
I can't do it. In a previous life, I was a real estate agent. So I was the one who was like, yes, move, sell, do it, move. No, not me. Yeah. Never moving.
Bye.
And we haven't started sewing yet.
Can she hear us?
Oh.
Is Jen jumping in?
Yeah, she's on, but I think maybe
she's slowly buffering in. There we go. So we've got Jenn from Jenn's Homemadeology. She's just joining us in now, I think. I'm trying to see if I'm still buffering or if she's still buffering. This is the fun thing with trying to get all of us on from around the world, right? We're trying to trust my internet. Hi, Jenn. So Jenn's from Jenn's Homemadeology. I said that bad. Jenn's Homemadeology. Can I just say, Jenn, I've said this 5 times today, and every other time I've said it right. And now I'm failing. So for those of you who don't know, Jenn is one of our mods and testers as well at Sewfisticated Craft Designs.
Words, so my fault.
And Jenn is unlike, actually, Jenn again is completely different to Jassie, Nikki, and I, because Jenn actually does sew human clothes. So Jenn's super active in the sewing community if you haven't seen her around, but she does a lot of clothes, bags. She's multi-talented. It's insane. I have learned so much stuff from her channel. So if you haven't subscribed, go have a look at Jenn's Homemadeology as well. I've already got one of my tips that I've thrown out a few times on my tutorials for the zipper that we have to do here, the 90 degree, is from Jenn. So yeah, I talk a lot, sorry.
Good night, Diane.
Good night, Diane.
Good night.
I'm trying to pull out. Do you know what's really annoying? So that reminded me. So my lighter, I'm trying to find my lighter so that when we start sewing, I can actually sew. And I charged it up and I put it down last night. And where did I put it?
Oh.
Yeah. Jenn has hers handy.
Yes. I have 2.
Jenn, you just need to pass one over to him. It'll be great.
So, Jenn, while we were on here talking, we talked a little bit about what fabrics we're using and whether we actually use scraps to cut out our card holder today. So, what are you making today?
What fabrics?
Yeah, what fabrics? Yeah.
I'm making. Let's see. Off the group poll that I did this day, they chose the vintage butterfly. So I'm using that with the cross weave vinyl. And then doing the denim vibrant hue.
Is that the baby blue?
Oh, yeah, I was trying to. No, I believe it's the denim.
Oh.
Denim Dreams.
Yes, I think so.
I think so.
Oh, I was 100% sure.
Sam shopping in her mouth.
I've run out of baby blue.
It's the same.
Is that denim jeans too?
No, yes. Before I tell you wrong. Yep. Yeah, it's the Denim Dreams.
Oh, see, you are too organized.
Jenn and her cheat sheet putting us all to shame.
Yeah. Here I am just pulling things out like, I hope this works.
That was a bad piece. And I did the khaki twill for the card slot.
So, are all 4 of us using twill for card slots?
Yes.
I think so.
Perfect. Jassie doesn't remember this conversation, but I swear she told me that she prefers Vibrant Voo.
I don't remember.
She did.
Did I?
Told you that I prefer Vibrant View.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you saying it.
I can't remember. So sorry. But I love both.
I prefer Vibrant View, but I didn't have enough scraps of Vibrant View because I literally will lay out my pieces to have just the tiniest itty bitty scraps when I'm cutting things out. So
That's smart.
yeah.
I'm not that organized. I literally go, I'm one of the cut list people, so I know I'm one of the rare ones. I literally cut from top down. So I'll get to like the third one, be like, oh, I should have cut this one first. I don't have enough fabric now.
And that's why I use the pattern pieces.
That's extra cutting.
Yeah,
I don't have time for that.
Jenn doesn't use pattern pieces. She uses her rotary cutter and a ruler.
Yeah.
That explains why. Templates would be good for you.
Yeah.
I have started moving to templates, which is actually, I have this one ready. So this one's the card. I've got the card holder template. It's one of my favorite ones.
I need that one.
Oh, it's
I
so
need that one
good.
too.
The fussy cutting. Jen's done the best fussy cutting, I think, out of us all. Mine was just kind of whatever. But Jen's one, if you saw it, her butterfly is perfectly centered.
Oh yeah, this is.
Oh wait, Nikki's trying to put me to shame.
So
She did it.
That I cut out. I'm not doing this one today. This is another one I cut out.
Mine wasn't too bad. I use this laminated. I always laminate my pattern pieces, so
Yeah.
it's not too bad. It's just that I cannot see clear like what you girls do.
Yeah,
so I take my
templates
pattern piece
like
and
this.
fold it in half and fold it in half.
Same.
And then that middle is where I put my thing.
Whatever the center is of your.
And then I unfold out, whatever the center is, what I want to use, and then fold out to get it to the right place. It's easier to do when it's flat, but
Yeah.
that's how I do fussy cutting.
So smart. I
smart.
kind of do the hope and pray.
You don't have to now with templates.
Yeah, that's why I had to have the templates. And I was telling Jassie yesterday that now I've lost that template piece. But the template piece for the card holder that does the lining piece and the back bit, that curve is the curve in so many different patterns. So I actually had that template piece on my cutting table to cut so many other different patterns as well, not just the card holder.
That definitely come in handy.
It does. So now that we're here, should we start actually sewing? So now we're actually sewing.
Sure.
Yeah.
I thought you guys were already done and sewing without me.
Oh
No, we waited.
The mad rush.
There was a lot of me talking.
Love ya.
So
You didn't have to. I love ya.
I can talk forever. The card holder starts off with the option for a wrist strap. So obviously, if you're doing the wrist strap, you need the D-ring tab as well. Is anyone doing that today?
I'm not.
Nope.
So we're just purely doing the card holder.
Perfect.
Maybe step
So
we can do another section.
Yeah, so I obviously I sell these. I've said this before, but I've not found the need to do the D-ring or the wrist strap. Sorry, Jassie. I know you designed it that way, but for me, everyone that I bought it puts it in their handbag anyway. So I don't waste the extra time and materials because that obviously translates to a higher cost to the consumer. So save some money while we can. So we're going to move straight on to the zipper tab. The zipper tab, if everyone has no problem with this, I would actually like to throw this over at Jenn. Jenn can talk to us all about it because this is her method that I keep stealing on the 90-degree angle. And do we all own the dual arch sliders yet, or is that just me and Jen still?
Well, I think I'm the only one who doesn't.
I do
Yeah,
have
these-
it, but I'm bad. I'm bad with fire. To be honest, I rather sew it. I'm scared. I'm scared to burn my stuff.
Yeah, so this is a tip that I got from Jen, and she taught me how to use a slider. I didn't even know these existed.
Yeah. I saw this somewhere for people zapping like their threads. Somewhere on Facebook. In one of the sewing groups. And it just kind of occurred to me like, hey, I can go ahead and take it to the ends of the zipper tape. And I personally prefer the dual arc ones at 2 versus the single arc, just because the single arc can like really go into your zipper tape and end up messing it up. So to play safe, so I don't end up going into it, I use the dual arc one because you have more control. Nice singe over that. And then I put my zipper pull on. And then I will go ahead and place this right sides together with the zipper tab on the side that I just sealed. And so that.
It seems that we lost Jen. We lost Nikki and Sam.
Oh, that's me. I've sorry, I made Jen the focus.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I didn't want to tell Jen and freak her out that it's only her on the screen at the moment.
yeah, I know, but I can see that it's only you on the screen, so
Oh, whoops.
it's okay. It's fine. I can live. I can go. Just trying to remember. Thank God I made this pattern at least once before doing this, because I don't have it pulled up. Okay. Are you over there zapping stuff, Sam?
Okay,
No, I
I'm
can't see you.
confused. I'm actually doing my D-ring, so I will do the D-ring. Maybe I will take over.
Yeah, we'll throw
Sam?
it back on to Jassie to do the D-ring.
Yeah, for those who do the D-ring, so you take your D-ring tab, you fold into half to find the center line, and you fold the 2 long edges to meet the center line so that you have one long D-ring tab. And we were going to top stitch 1/8 inch seam allowance around the perimeter. I've forgotten that we are not doing the wristlet, but I'm still doing the D-ring because sometimes people might want to put it together with their key fob.
I've not thought about key fobs.
Yeah, I used to always clip my keys to my wallet. But I'm being lazy with this one.
Yeah,
This is something I should admit on the internet, but I don't have house keys.
Yeah, you
Like,
probably
my
should
house
do
is
that.
yeah.
Okay, once you sew your D-ring tab, you take the D-ring tab and insert in, and we'll baste it, and you'll get ready for the next step. There you have it. And right now we are on page 9, and we are doing the zipper tab next.
undid myself again. And we've got Jen back on the screen.
Okay.
And
Rewind, recap real quick. After you singed one end of your zipper tape and have your zipper pull on, you're going to place your tab right sides together on the end of where your zipper is going to close. And then you are going to sew that on with a 1/4 seam allowance.
I have a quick confession to make. While you were saying put the zipper tab on, I was sewing the zipper tab without putting the zipper pull on. So I am now unstitching.
After I just sent that reminder.
Yeah.
It's a good thing she reminded you.
I know. I would have actually gone through the whole thing and been like, I have no zip pull on this. I have a confession to make. If you read any of the Sophisticated Craft patterns and there's a note on there, make sure you have your zipper pull on it. It's probably because I've forgotten to put my zipper pull on during testing, and Jassie's literally put it there to remind me.
It's so true.
It's
And
always me that forgets the zipper pull.
Sorry. And then we're going to go ahead and take our zipper tab and fold it back. And then you're going to fold it down so your zipper tab is wrong sides together to meet the very base bottom of your zipper. And then you're going to go ahead and fold that down again to meet up to your previous stitch line. And then you're going to go ahead and top stitch on top of that with a 1/8 seam allowance.
Sam,
Yeah.
do you want to put everybody's on? It's kind of confusing. I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Yeah, I'll bring us all back on.
Oh, I changed my camera.
Oh,
to be my
fancy.
sewing machine. No,
I thought that was my sewing machine for a second.
Nope.
Okay, once you have sewn on the zipper tab, you will mark the zipper length for the 90-degree, and Jen had this good idea of using the sew the L shape. I'm a scaredy cat.
Yeah, so let's see, we gotta mark it per step 24, 23. Jen's only made this pattern once. Ooh.
Yeah. Step
Yeah,
I
would have
didn't
been
say this before. So.
really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, step 23.
So if it looks like we
You
don't know
didn't say
what we're
what before,
doing,
Sam?
Jassie's not done this pattern in like ages. Jen's only done it for the first time 2 days ago. And I don't follow the instructions when I do this because I've done it that many times. So
So we are doing the L shape now.
So once you make your markings,
And-
my little tip with the 90 degrees. Oh. Do you want me to show the
yeah.
the zapping part or?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Over here, please. Thank you.
I've just turned Jen's camera off for a sec. She's mumming duty at the
If
moment.
you want to come over the other way, you need to put Thank you. There.
So-
He said bye.
Bye.
So my little trick to not have to sew these is when you make your marking on there, if you fold at your, let's see if we're doing it away from the camera. If you fold on it, and then you take your little zappy thingy, and this edge you have folded, if you zap it real quick, and then press it, it will fold it down. And then you don't have to actually sew them unless you want to then go ahead and take it and baste it. But I find this a whole lot more easier than trying to get it underneath my sewing machine with a clip, personally.
Definitely, especially if you're batch sewing. This is one of my
Use it.
batch sewing patterns. And this is such a time saver.
So do you snitch trim off the zipper to be the same height?
So all
No.
I've done is so
I've
I've
done
measured
it
the
both
spot.
ways.
Yeah.
I can't really see from the screen actually.
Here, I'll bring in Jen nice and big. Here.
Oh, I was supposed to say I can just come closer.
Ah.
Yeah, I just make that. I'll undo one side. Maybe. Okay.
I'm very fire.
See, and I use actual flame.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
just
only
like-
use the dual arch.
So there's my line, and then I fold at that, so
Okay.
that line reaches the top of my zipper. And you can cut this away if you want. I just take that little flap of the fold and zap that, and then pinch that to the thing. I hope that was in the camera because
Yeah, that was
where I was.
Yeah.
all in.
I got closer to it.
Yeah,
Let me
I
get it
love
done.
that way. Ever since Jen showed how to do it, I attempted to do it a few times with an actual lighter, and if you're anywhere as uncoordinated as me, I do not recommend it.
I burn my fingers every time.
Yeah.
Yes, same here. So I rather base it down. I'm
Oh,
just
no, I'll
just
still do
start-
fire.
Yeah,
if
it's such a
you
time
with
saver.
an
I had to
actual
batch
lighter, it
sew.
helps to trim.
Yeah, I trim it.
Yeah, I don't trim it till after I sew it on. I'm lazy.
No, I said if you use a lighter,
Oh yeah.
it helps if you trim because then you
Yeah.
don't have to
Oh,
worry.
maybe that's
Where
where I
is
was
Nikki
failing.
I forgot to iron my twill for the binding on the clear, but I've already finished my zipper, so I'm just working on clipping together.
Oh.
Looking ahead. So we've
Because
got
I'm one of those
Holly's
that
just
want-
joined us as well from House of Stitches. And
Hi, Holly.
Hi,
I don't
Holly.
actually, I'm so sorry. So Pandoria LLC, she's commented on a few of my videos before. And we've actually had a few chats on YouTube, but I actually don't know your name. So hi. And thank you for joining us. So have we all done the zipper tabs?
Yes.
Perfect. So we're going to move on to the binding of the clear piece. What's everybody using? Because I think I'm the only one who uses fold over elastic, which I have to go
I'm
grab.
using
So
the
you guys
bias
chat.
tip.
Oh,
I'm using the bias tip from the shop.
Yeah, I wanted to use the bias tape from Sewfisticated, but it doesn't match the.
You can totally make yours a binding tape. I think the pattern pieces provided for
Yeah.
you.
That's what I'm using with 12. So I don't
Ah.
normally do this. And normally, like, I've done it once before. And I iron the crap out of it so that it's nice and pressed. But I forgot to do that today in preparation. So we'll see what happens.
You can actually do.
Here's a shocker. I'm making binding.
Wow.
Yeah, you're using Vibrant View, right?
Poor Darlene, she
No.
just had rotator cuff surgery yesterday. Or no, she didn't say yesterday. She's just had it. I've added yesterday. So she can't say. I don't know if I could survive not sewing. So
good.
I hope you recover quickly, and hopefully watching us is a little bit of sewing therapy.
I wonder if it's the lady who bought from me, from Sophisticated Supplies. I think her name is also Darlene. I'm not too sure. Is it the same person?
Darlene, she commented on one of my videos a while ago about Yellow Vibrant Voo, I think.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes. I think she's the lady. Oh dear.
Well, I've just made
Thanks for
something
the
with Yellow
reminder,
Vibrant Voo
Holly.
yesterday. I love yellow. No, actually, I don't normally like yellow. I love the Yellow Vibrant Voo, but I'm not a yellow person.
Same.
So we're doing the binding slightly differently. And we're saying
Yes.
binding, but if you've never done binding before, it's like cheats binding for me. It's still binding, but you're literally just putting a bit of binding on clear. It's the easiest binding and the best practice binding you could do.
Indeed, because
Unless
it's
your
only a
sewing machine
straight.
hates clear.
For those who are wondering, we are on page 11 now. We are doing the clear vinyl, and we are doing the binding.
Darlene, when do you expect to have your clearance to start sewing? Tina,
and
thanks for joining.
I was about to say Tina's here.
Too slow.
I didn't really mean to throw my giant roll of photo over elastic away, but I literally just threw it.
Why?
I just wanted to get it out of the way, and I was like, oh, I'll just throw it, and I threw it a bit too hard. I'm stronger than I thought. If anyone is using fold over elastic like I am, after you bind it on, always make sure you use a lighter to singe the ends, so it just stops the fraying.
Sorry, I will get a water break.
So I've got my camera on focused on my sewing machine. So you're seeing me use a piece of twill under my clear, and that is because the clear keeps sticking to my sewing machine bed.
Oh, that's a smart idea.
Some people use things like paper or tissue paper or, something that if they accidentally sew it, it's not going to cause them to have to recut a pattern piece, but meh.
So Holly's just asked if this is a good pattern to do batches with. So I think that's probably a me question for now. Yes. So the biggest tip I would say for batch sewing this pattern, which I guess is the same tip I use for all of my batch sewing, is choose fabric where you can use the same thread color the whole time, especially for the card slots. Batch sewing card slots saves so much time. One thing that I like to do when I'm cutting it, if I'm batch sewing. So this is your card slot piece. Pretend this is a paper pattern. So what I do, if I'm doing 4 at a time, I will cut this double width plus a little bit, and then I will fold it. So then I'm doing 2 card slots at a time, and then after I sew them into card slots, I then cut it into 2. So you're spending the time, like one amount of time to do 2, if that makes sense. So you're saving half the time. I think the biggest batch I did of card slots is 6 at a time. I was talking to Nikki recently about this. I don't like batch sewing really more than 5 of the same thing at the time. Card slots, I'll do 6. It's not because you can't do it. It's I get bored. So anything more than 5 seems to be this is too boring, I can't do this. But yeah, card slots. I think on Sophisticated Crafts on the Facebook group, there's a post that I've done. I wonder if I can actually pull the photo up on my phone and show you guys. But I batch sewed 6 recently of the card slots, card holder, sorry. And that was for a customer who bulk buys from me. Let me see if I can find it. And on that one, I actually used different colors. Well, not different colors, but the fabrics were all different colors. But they all worked with white thread. So I've kind of gotten away with it. I don't know if this is going to show well. So that's 6 that I batch sewed at the same time. So because I've used different card slots, so of the twill, it makes them all look different, but they're all done at the same time. So it's a big time saver. Oh, yeah, there we go. The card slot question. There we go. I talked too much again.
Holly was asking how many card slot. Holly, this one was actually designed with 2 card slot and a clear vinyl at the back. So for me, I don't use my clear as often as I use for my card holder. So I actually change it up. For this case, you have 4 card holders, but you definitely can put more than 1 in cards. I always squeeze them.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
but what
could you
is
do a
that
slip
pink
pocket?
that you made that one from, Jassie? What is the material you used for that pink one that you were just showing?
Sorry, come again?
What is the material you used for that pink one?
This is coming soon to the Sophisticated Supply. This is the weave vinyl. Yes, this is I haven't named the color yet, but this
I
is
need
like
it. Whatever
rose.
it is, I need that color.
Yeah, it's
That is a
limited.
pretty color.
Yeah, so I have scrap for this, so that's why I cut into this. You should take it. And
Holly's
it
just
actually
asked
pairs
if you could
with
do a
the
slip
zipper,
pocket
very
instead as
nice.
well. Oh, sorry.
Yes,
was just-
the meaning 2 slip pocket, right, Holly? So we can do 2 clear. Is that what you're asking, Holly?
Yeah, so instead of a clear pocket, do it as a slip. Yeah, so you can definitely do that. So instead of doing the binding piece on the clear, if you just grabbed an external bit, a lining bit, sew it right sides together, 1/4 inch seam allowance, flip it, birth it, top stitch, and then that could be a slip pocket for the back instead.
Clear one line. You can sew with any fabric base. I sewn with woven before. I sewn with vinyl. We clear. There is no restriction. It basically depends on your sewing machine.
Especially the
Okay.
card slots.
Are you done with your clear? Sorry, Sam, you continue first.
No, this is probably something we
Yeah,
could talk about in the card slot bit, but now that I've brought it up, I'll say it quickly. The card slots bit, obviously all of us here are using twill or vibrant boo or one of those lining fabrics. If you aren't, that's the bit that you have to worry about getting thick, is your card slots, because there's obviously a few more layers. So try not to use anything too thick. Before Jassie bought out Sophisticated Supplies, I used to use PVC back WPC for everything. So that's like the Ottertex waterproof fabric that people get. So it's got that plastic on the back. And I didn't realize that that's not normal that everyone used that kind of stuff. So I used to hate doing card slots because it was too thick. Jassie's run away. Should I hide her camera for a bit?
I'm back.
Oh, she's back.
Should I take a coffee break?
Okay, so the next step is actually sewing the clear vinyl onto your back bit. So there is a measurement on the pattern piece as to where to line it up.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, you can see.
So Jassie's got it there.
Yeah.
So I cheat. So let me show you guys these pattern pieces. What do you mean I cheat?
Shut the front door, Sam. Never.
Right? I never cheat. I need to find this pattern piece. This is annoying. So this is the pattern piece for the clear if it was a template. And this is the pattern piece. I'm going to say this is a pattern piece. It's obviously not, but for the back piece. So as you can see, the clear piece is much larger. And the reason being is obviously because clear, when this pattern was designed, I'm putting words in Jassie's mouth, but this is what I expect, is clear when this pattern was designed, it was quite a new material that not a lot of people had used. So by making the pattern piece bigger, it meant you could trim it to size afterwards. So if you had any sewing mistakes, that could be fixed up. So if you're confident with sewing clear, one of the things that I do is I actually cut it based off this fabric, this pattern piece, so the external pattern piece. So I cut it lined up to the line where it says to put it up against. So then by the time it's cut, my piece is pretty much exactly the right size, and I just need to trim the corners. Bigger.
How do I mute it?
Okay, so all we're doing now is
Sorry,
we
I
are
distracted
lining up our clear to that back piece, and we're just going to baste it on. Now, here's another thing as well. So in all of Jassie's patterns, she gives us ideas of where to put your label tag if you wanted it. I don't do label tags on my card holders anymore, but if you do, this is where you put it on the side there in between your clear pockets. So this is my own one that I use. So you'll end up looking something like that. You put it in, but I'm not putting it on this one.
I'm not in also because it will block my print placement, but I'm going to put it in at the lining later. So if I remember,
If you remember.
This is a different step, yes. Yeah. So right now we are going to baste the clear vinyl to the piece A. And I like to sew with the clear vinyl facing down. I mean, it depends on individual, but I find that That would be better because it prevents slippage.
See, I do it the other way.
I like
I
how
have
Sam and
clear
I both
up.
just like stopped and looked at Jassie's video like, huh.
Yeah. It genuinely never crossed my mind to do it that way. I always have my clear up.
When you do up, there will be more chance of slippage. So that's what
So do I, so it doesn't stick to the machine bed.
Yeah.
That is also one of the reasons.
Wait. But no, if you have the clear down, it'll stick.
Yeah. That's what I would worry about.
I'm like, I don't know what to do. Oh my god.
Yeah, how's everyone sewing this? Are we doing clear vinyl down or clear vinyl up? So Jassie is clear vinyl down. So tell us in the comments if anyone has done this before. Because Jenn, Nikki, and I are all saying we normally do clear up.
Yep.
I used to do it up also, but you know, as I sew and more adventurous with clear vinyl or any fabric grade. In fact, my latest pattern is always facing down with the pockets. I think the latest one that we are testing, you mentioned also. Someone's sewing machine is a bit loud. Is that?
Probably yours.
Probably mine.
I'm like, I think it's yours, Jassie.
Yeah,
I
yours
wasn't
looks the
sewing
most
though.
intense out of all of us.
Oh my god. Really? Okay, I think there was a lack maybe.
I hit the wrong
Oh,
thing.
maybe.
I meant to hit the...
Just I'm watching the Ninja at the moment, not the YouTube.
Wow.
But anyway, once we are done, we are going to trim off the excess clear vinyl. Yeah, I saw Sam is done. Now we are waiting for Nikki.
Yeah, I'm slow.
That's fine.
It's actually really intimidating sewing live because on tutorials you can speed up your sewing, so no one knows how fast or slow you really are.
I am so slow. So slow.
Do you know what though? I don't mind taking it slow, especially on corners.
Or how many times you get distracted.
Yeah. I am the easily distracted person in the world.
Quit lying, Sam. No, you're not.
Yeah, the most productive among us. I can't imagine how many bags you always make every day.
Most productive and most distracted. I don't understand. I don't get
Yes, I don't understand
Teach
too.
me.
It doesn't make sense.
It's because I
Teach
do
me
a
your
million things at the same time.
Okay, since I'm the only one who's doing the D-ring tag, so what you do is take your D-ring tag, put it below the bias tape, and you should have about a 1/4 inch overhang, and you base it right below about 1/4 inch below the bias tape.
Holly's asking for some insider information. So Holly's asked before if we might do, well, I say we like it has anything to do with me. It has nothing to do with me. It's all Jassie. Pattern kits for supplies or sample boxes for supplies. So is there any updates, any more thoughts? Is it a possibility?
I mean, Holly, I tried to, but limited manpower, I'm afraid. At the moment, I think it's a bit tough to get some supplies out, especially looking at project box. Are you refer a pattern kit supply sample box?
A sample box would be really cool.
But sample box will not be the full weave though, because I still need to keep the shipping affordable. Yeah, I could really sit down and work it out and see maybe a 12-inch instead of 18-inch or 9-inch.
Yeah, even fat quarters maybe. what does everyone think
Okay.
about fat quarters? Like if it's like a fat quarter of Vibrant Boo, fat quarter of Twill, the foam might need to be smaller because obviously of the volumetric weight.
If you're talking about effectiveness, I would say 9 or 12-inch with the whole width is more realistic on my side rather than back quarters.
Fat quarters, yeah.
So that I can use the machine, the cutter, to cut down to 9-inch or 12-inch. But yes, the foam we can reduce now the size also. I can try the Twill and Vibrant Wool at half a yard.
Yeah, so at the moment the Twill and Vibrant Boo is about half a yard, isn't it?
Yeah. Holly is right now is half a yard, which is 18-inch. But recently, I received many requests to have it 1 yard uncut. So in fact, I should be receiving the shipment coming Monday or Tuesday. I might have some supplies into 18-inch.
Just going to turn Jenn's camera for a second because it sounds like he's wanting hers. So just to make sure they don't end up online.
Sure.
There you go. No, I think we're good.
Oh, I thought I muted it.
Oh.
Did I not mute?
So good. No, you did. I didn't realize you were muting it that quickly.
No,
I heard your kid's voice, so I was like, quickly like, I'll just turn your camera off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Holly, if you wanted to try the Twill or Vibrant Boo.
This is usual cuddle time.
Oh. So I think, because Jassie's deal with UPS at the moment, or USPS, is 2 kilo is the same shipment anywhere around the world, like anywhere?
No, it's only for Australia. It's up to 2.5. And for United States, it's 1 kilo. UK is 1 kilo onwards. And I think New Zealand is up to 1.5. That means meaning 0 to 1.5, they share the same weight. Okay. Australia is the best.
So if Holly's in the US, 1 kilo, so anything under a kilo is a flat rate.
Yes.
How much would you be able to fit into a kilo of Twill and Vibrant Boo?
About 6, 7 maybe.
Okay, so that would be a way to go. Is to try buying 5 or 6 to minimize, well, not to minimize, but to maximize the rate that you're getting for your postage.
Yes, for half a yard, which is 7 to 8 within a kilo, if I remember my math correctly. But in any case, only if there is any, if I can squeeze in more without, sorry, this camera moved. Okay, without popping up the shipping, I will definitely give you an email to see whether do you want to pop up. Hang on, let me change.
And what was the flat rate? I can't remember the flat rate off the top of my head.
I know that there's a chart in one of the featured posts in the group, but I can't remember right off the top of my head either.
We'll come back to you, Holly, when we remember.
So the shipping rates is also inside the website if you want to take a look. Yeah.
So we'll keep moving on to the card slot. So on the card slot pattern piece, there is markings that you need to do. So I like to cut on the markings, just like make little snips. I don't know how well you can see that. It's only a tiny little snip, but that helps me fold the pattern piece. The only exception is the bottom one. So the bottom one, I actually draw a line on the wrong side. And the reason being is we are going to match our fussy cut fabric right sides together with the card slot fabric. and that's my sew line. And I like to have that there because card slots you want to be as accurate as possible. I'm so jealous. Every time I hear Jen, my kids are at daycare at the moment. It's my only day kid free, and I love my kids. I also love not having them here. But at the same time, when they're not here and I can hear other people's kids, I'm like, I want my kids.
Aww.
I'm surprised you can actually hear them.
Just a little bit. It's
He's
just
in the other
enough.
room,
Whenever they giggle,
empty, not as loud.
I just want to get feedback. Is my sewing machine loud on the speaker? Because I just realized I put my laptop on the sewing machine, on the sewing table. It is, isn't it?
it is.
That could be.
Okay, let me change something.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
no. That's the good thing with the card slot. We're only doing tiny bits of sewing at a time, so it's not like it's that bad. I'm not actually reading the instructions. I probably should read the instructions. Does Jassie talk about trimming the seam?
Yes,
yes, she
snip
does.
the corners.
I now do this on everything I do. On any pattern, whether it calls for it, I always trim my seam allowances now.
I laugh because I have also been guilty of not.
Every time I don't do it, that's when I'm going to get caught.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you did cut the slots, it makes it easy. That's what it is. Everyone's all
Can
here
you
quietly
hear me?
folding their card slots.
Well, if you heard a dog, that was mine.
So if anyone's done some of the newer sophisticated patterns, you may notice that the card slots on this are different than the other ones. So it still works, it's still card slots, it's just different.
Yeah.
So if anyone doesn't understand what I'm talking about, so in all the other patterns, it's normally fold and then match the fold to this line. This one, it is fold wrong sides together, fold right sides together.
And Sam?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yep.
Sorry. And I was telling Sam, should I change it? She said, no, because I got my plates full. I have
your plate's too full.
Well, if you
and it still
change
works.
it, you also have to change the template, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for those who bought already, yes. But this still works. It's just that, yeah.
I think it's a preference thing too. Some people like doing it this way.
True.
And I think for when it's only a couple of slots, it's not too hard to do it differently.
I am personally missing my iron at the moment. Because I normally press the folds crisp.
Oh, I don't know. I use flat.
Ah, the noisy machine is Jen's.
Ah.
So it's not
I
mine.
said it was most likely mine. But it's probably because my speaker is right next to it. Which is weird that it wasn't like that in the in our test
when we did
runs.
trial run, yeah.
Were you sewing?
Oh,
I think
no.
Jen did try a couple of things.
No.
No, Jen wasn't sewing then.
On the second one.
We're not sewing then.
I thought I sewed on the second one.
See, this is why everyone should move to vintage machines. Listen to how quiet mine and Nikki's are. No one thinks it's our machine.
Yes.
Mine
Dude, I
is
love my
mine is a vintage machine.
Oh yeah, yours is a vintage too.
When did you oil it last?
I'm not going to talk about it.
So oiling it will make it quieter.
The beginning of No, she's still just a loud machine. But I did it during the start of the charm.
Mm.
Don't make the same mistakes I'm doing now. I actually sewed my top to this piece. So my marking here was off and I couldn't line it up. I'm going to re-mark my cut point.
I literally clipped it that way and like purple read the pattern to figure out which way I needed.
Thank you for making me feel good. But this happens.
I didn't even read the instructions, so I hope I'm doing it actually per the instructions now.
Oh, Sam. Oh, Sam.
Just get used to doing it my way.
Oh, Sam.
Oh no.
That's never a good sound.
No. So it's, oh, actually, no, it's fine. I thought my fabric shifted as I was sewing the edges to hold it all together, like to baste it all together, but it didn't. It's just me. I've got wonky eyes at the moment.
So it's really good that you guys can't see like just off this bottom left corner. Otherwise it would turn into like a drinking game of how many clips Nikki can drop in one video. Or in one pattern.
Oh no.
I just keep dropping them.
Actually, it did shift. Only minute. It shifted by like 1/16 of an inch. But with the card holders, for me, like I don't like it shifting at all because it's obviously like such a prominent feature. So I'm very pedantic with my card slots.
Lazy yet pedantic. How does that work out for you?
It's really frustrating. And like the worst part is like I know I'm pedantic. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist sometimes, but I still try to go lazy.
Yeah. Yep.
And yet you still can make so many bags in a day.
That's because she has lazy person.
I want to be you know, to be lazy but yet so productive.
I'm a
laziness
walking oxymoron.
Allows her to be productive. Because you find workarounds and efficiencies that aren't in the pattern.
That's true, yeah. I spend more time than I should on Facebook, and I steal and learn tips and hints from everyone and make it work for me.
I don't know who you would be talking to on Facebook.
Don't know.
I think we have about a few more people join. Is there any question for us while we sew along? we are sewing the card holder for Sophisticated Craft, and it's a free pattern for the Facebook members. I'm actually done with my cards. Well, I saw Sam also.
Yeah. We're just waiting on Nikki again.
You can move on.
That's
It's fine.
So, that I've learned. So, with your card slot, probably before you paste it down is a good idea. Get your side piece and double check that it's the same height. I had a problem before where I measure and fold and my measurements were wrong, and my card slots would always end up shorter than my side piece. So that is almost always a user error. So it's always my fault. I've not had that problem since I got the templates because I no longer have to measure myself. But if you're a normal person and use pattern pieces and not just measuring it blindly like I do, then you won't have those problems like I do.
Yeah, like mine was way short.
Oh no. Yeah, so if it's
No,
way
it was a good call
short.
out because I was right at that point of stitching down the sides.
Oh, so you haven't done it yet. Good. So you can just, yeah.
But yeah, this whole like not having my iron. Ah.
I never use irons on the card slots. But see, this is why I use twill.
Oh god, no,
Yes.
I iron everything with card
But-
slots. Give me a nice crisp edge.
Oh.
think it's a
Did you
habit.
scissor snip the foldy bits like I said?
I did this time.
And you're still not getting it crisp.
No.
That's a you problem then.
Because they're not ironed. They're not pressed.
That's where you finger press. You don't need an iron.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Use a card, any card that
Oh.
help you to flatten the seam.
Oh my god. I'm just like unacceptable, ladies. What?
My iron is too far away. So if I had to get up and iron every time I was doing a card slot or like, yeah, anytime I could just finger press, a 1 hour make will turn into a 4 hour make.
I press everything that's folded.
Like actually with an iron.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, I do.
I just don't have that kind of patience.
I have learned it makes for a better looking end product. For me. If you do not need an iron, I am envious. But I have learned. But that's also how I was taught. So like my grandmother taught me to sew
Oh.
when I was young, like 5.
I learned how to sew through
So-
Jassie.
So my grandmother was a seamstress, a clothing seamstress, and my mom did quilts. So
Oh,
they
wow.
both ironed everything.
I would love to get into quilting.
I wouldn't.
It's just so gosh. I've always,
No.
but see, I come from I don't want to say a non-creative family because my dad was really good with his hands. He was like a carpenter, he could make anything. But I didn't have anyone that sewed, painted, anything like that. So like, you know how, well, I was born in the 80s, and that was one of the really cool things. I don't know if cool is the right word, but people would get quilted blankets from like their grandmothers, their mothers, hand-me-downs through the generations. And I will never have that because my family just wasn't creative.
Yeah, I have quilts that my great grandparents made.
Oh.
And I have one that has, so one of my great grandparents was a sheep farmer. And it has wool straight off the sheep. And the quilt itself is getting threadbare. And I can't use it anymore because I'm allergic to wool.
Oh no.
And so like when the wool peeks through the fabric, I'll actually break out right where it is. But I still have it and I love it and it's amazing.
I've just got I know Nikki's seen the comment, but got SL Andrews just joined us. Well, not just joined us, but they've just commented. They are embroidering 54 jackets.
Wow.
Yeah, somebody was talking and I was like, oh my god, what?
I know. 54. I don't have an embroidery machine. It's something that I've talked to Jassie a few times. I really want an embroidery machine, but that's what I'm worried I'll get stuck on. That I'll end up having
Same.
I'll just want to embroider everything, and then I'll end up spending so much time just doing that I won't have time to sew.
I think I burned myself when I got this brother machine. Oh, I was spending a lot of time, and there's always this curse. Whenever I walk away, something bad happens. Like I need to stand there to make sure the baby behaves.
That's like a cricket.
While,
I was like, it's just like Stan's cricket.
yes, I think they have a life of their own. They need our attention constantly.
I have a cricket machine, and I never use it because it takes me longer to use it than not, because I can't just let it cut. I have to sit there and watch it. So I just don't use it. Just checking my top stitching at the moment to see if I'm happy with it. I'm a little bit of a top stitch fanatic. I think anyone who sews does, right? Like anyone who sews, we pay so much attention to top stitching.
Mm-hmm. I think that should be the key because it really show your craftsmanship in a way.
Yeah.
So I struggle because I have this amazing foot. Hold on, let me pull it out. It's a narrow zipper foot. Get it closer to the camera. It's amazing, but it's not Teflon. So if I use it on vinyl, I use sewing machine oil so that it'll smoothly go over the vinyl, but it gives like almost a perfect 1/8 inch seam allowance if you line up the edge of the fabric or the seam with the edge of the foot. It's amazing. I love it and I hate it because on vinyl it sticks.
Yeah.
Can you put the Teflon sticker underneath the footer?
I'm sorry?
Help? You know,
Like putting
they
like
do
a
sell sticker or some sort of things under the foot.
like sellotape. You can get like a matte-ish sellotape that's
Yeah.
because I used to do that before I had a Teflon foot.
Yeah.
I would usually just do a drop of sewing machine oil and rub it right down the vinyl, and it glides right over it. Waywack sells a sewing aid that you can use as well, but I don't have that. I have sewing machine oil, and sewing machine oil works great.
So I've just got a comment here. Rhonda's just joined her from Kansas. So hi, Rhonda. But
Hi.
Rochelle's just said that she is struggling with the folds for the card slots. So does anyone have any tips, hints? So my biggest tip was cutting the snips, making sure, did you transfer the markings across from the pattern piece, or are you doing it from measurement? Because that's another thing as well.
And what fabric is she using?
Oh, and yeah, fabric type.
Yeah.
I struggled with card slots whenever I was using cotton woven. Oh, not even cotton woven. I used to use poplin
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, poplin was the worst for card slots because I used to think it was a smart idea because it was so thin and it was cheap. Okay, so Rochelle marked the lines from the pattern piece. Did you trim into it? So if you trim into it with scissors, it helps get that line a little bit crisper. So when you fold it, it folds flatter.
What fabric are you using for the
Yeah, what fabric is she using?
So we'll see if we could help Rochelle there get the lines. So we're just waiting if Rochelle can let us know what type of fabric base you're using, because that can make a big difference as well. Tina's just got a tip as well for sewing vinyl if you don't have a Teflon foot, is to rub your foot on wax paper.
Oh.
Wax paper.
Okay, so Rochelle is using the Sewful Therapy for slots, a slippery type. Okay, so if you're using a slippery fabric, I always struggle with slippery fabrics. You may need more clips than normal. Let me see if I've got some spare fabric somewhere.
Michelle, can you use maybe a card, a credit card, or a scraper to just fold on the two sleeve and press it? That usually helps for me.
I press everything, except for this now, and it's annoying me because it's not pressed clean. But yeah, I found that especially with anything slick, to press it with an iron, as long as it's iron safe fabric.
Yeah, what did she say?
Yeah,
because I stitched the front piece on.
Hold it correctly.
Yes, you can do it. Earlier, I actually sew it wrongly because this is supposed to be at the bottom, but I sew it at the top. So what we'll do is you can still fold it. Even you sew the front piece on. Is that what you say, Rochelle? Fold it correctly. I stitch the front piece on. Yeah,
okay. So you've got the front piece sewn on, right?
Yep. So the front piece is on.
Sew this one really quick.
Yeah. Nikki,
I just grabbed.
No,
I just grabbed a different one so that I can get to the point where Rochelle is at. So
that
I
okay,
can
cool,
see...
cool. Thank you. Thank you.
I have like 5 of them literally cut ready to go behind me.
I'm not doubting you.
So I just grabbed one that I can use this same thread. Oh no! Seam allowance. Hold please. Hold please.
Hold please. We're having technical difficulties.
Might be okay. So my machine, if you'll notice, I'm using yeah, I have to see with this really quick. I have masking tape to mark seam allowances because the foot or the needle plate that I got that has the seam allowances marked causes my stitch length to randomly move. It's great.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so you got to see all the videos for that.
Yep.
Wait, the reason I have Singer 201 too, I love the stitches, but the reason why I'm not sewing is 2 things. One is the throat plate, it doesn't have the seam allowances. And secondly, I'm so used to the knee leaf for this. I mean, I'm a lazy sewist also. The moment I use it, come up, Whereas for the Singer, I have to keep doing it manually. And sometimes I think it's just a matter of getting used.
Yeah.
I need to use it more often.
actually, I don't know if this bit would help, Rochelle, as I just thought of this. One of the things that I do sometimes is before I fold it all, I actually top stitch that first piece. So where Nikki's up to now, where she's just sewed it on together,
Yeah.
before I fold it, I actually top stitch that section first.
Have you top stitched it?
I did earlier.
Yep, so she said I've stitched the front piece on. So I think
I think
so if you top stitch that first, because I actually do this normally myself.
Yeah.
Oh no, she hasn't top stitched it yet.
Ah, okay. I won't do that then.
Yeah, don't do that yet.
Did you
Okay.
mark the placement already, Nikki?
I'm sorry.
Have you marked the placement?
Yeah, I have marks on. They're tiny, but they're there.
This is also something that Jassie will probably like cringe when I say it, but
What?
if it doesn't match up properly to the side piece, it's not the end of the world. Let me come in closer.
Yes.
So this side, it's really good. This side, I've got a tiny little bit. I give
Okay.
myself like a 1/8 kind of, because if it's 1/8 difference between the card slot and the side bit, you can kind of hide it in between like the seam allowances. Anything more, that's when I'll start really worrying. But of course, if we can fix it, fix it. The biggest thing that I'm thinking is because it's the slippery fabric. So after you fold it, when you sew it under the sewing machine on the sides to get it to hold, that's where we're struggling.
So the card slots, we're not at the side bits yet. We're still on the card slot, right, Rochelle? So what I do, I have my markings here. They're really tiny just because I'm paranoid about getting them outside of seam allowances. So this first marking, so we've got the top piece and then the first marking that folds towards us. I do mark both sides of the fabric so that I can see it. And I kind of fold, I'm sure you saw me kind of finger pressing this vinyl bit here as well. And I will actually, I've got this marking here and the vinyl bit, and I'll clip this on this side, and then I'll do the same thing on the other side. So that way I'm not trying to fold all of it with bits flopping around. I don't know how else how better to say that.
Yeah, I do the same. Yeah, I clip as I fold. I don't fold the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so from here, like I've got this clipped down. Usually I would top stitch this once I've got it clipped on the first side, because then I know. And part of that too is because of the other card slot patterns. So I'm gonna go ahead and just top stitch this really quick. I say really quick, but that's all relative because I am not really quick.
See, I never backstitch when I top stitch.
I know you don't. I can't.
Now, I think now too.
And then I go to my next marking, which is right here. So I've still got it clipped from the last time. Haven't unclipped it. And what I'll do is just add this to my clip. And so I do take it very, very, very much in stages.
See, I don't unclip and clip. I actually get a second clip.
Yeah. I usually don't have my bin of clips here, and I can only find what's next to my sewing machine. So.
Yeah, if you've watched any of my other videos, I don't use clips very often, apart from on card slots. Card slots, I will use as many clips as physically possible.
I mean, following Sam's is probably a smarter move, but I've also found, so I tend to use binder clips rather than the plastic, because I usually end up with the plastic shooting off somewhere, broken.
Yep. I've broken so many of these
so
plastic
all
clips.
of these things are why all of these things are why I sew so much slower than everyone else. Yeah, so that's what I do here, and then let me grab. Gotta make sure I'm. Yeah, and then this one I'll have to adjust a little bit as well because I'm just slightly longer on my side panels. But that's easier to do once it's all top stitched, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Holly's asking what the next group pattern sew along is going to be. That's going to be a fun one. I'm going to have a think about it.
Okay.
Does anyone have any suggestions?
I hope that helped.
I was actually saying, so next week I have a custom travel nizer due, but I don't think everyone wants to do a travel nizer sew along with me. That will probably be, what, 8 hours?
I was actually going to suggest the charm earlier.
Would that be fun? Oh, Rochelle did it. Yay. Awesome. So
Yay!
Nikki's tips helped.
And I have another one started. Yay! Thanks.
That's one more being. Oh, Holly. Yeah, the travel nizers. I love the travel nizer. I think I don't know how many I've done now, but this cruise season so far, because Australian cruise season is summer for us, so the Disney ships just arrived in Australia, and that's my biggest travel nizer market, is for the Disney cruises. So far this Disney cruise season, I've taken 4 or 5 custom orders for it. So the travel nizers is a good one. I love it. Okay, so we're all done with the card holders now. We've all put our side piece on. So this is your front piece done now. And obviously before we've done our back piece. So they're coming together.
Yeah.
Holly, do you mean you're making, so you've got 3 kids and you're making each one. So you're going to make 3 travel nizers in one go. It's actually, travel nizers, I don't know if you guys are going to think I'm crazy for saying this, but travel nizers are a really good batch sewing bag because there is so much that goes to it that you could easily batch sew until you get to the final construction.
100%.
I haven't made one yet.
Really?
What?
Nikki? I thought you did.
I bought the pattern. I own the pattern.
Oh, before you became okay. Before you became a tester, right? What's that?
No, I think I bought the pattern after I became a tester.
But you didn't test it.
Jenn and Sam kept giving me crap. I did not test it. I think I started
Have you
testing
done the 3D panel yet?
after. shortly after that travel knives were released. No, I have to find the pieces that I cut out using this.
For those who don't know, the Jassie is one of Nikki's, I want to say one of your favorite patterns. You make it so often, but she still hasn't done a 3D panel.
Yes.
So maybe is that something we need to do a live sew along to? The 3D panel for the Jassie.
Switch back to my sewing machine view, man.
Okay. We are going to go back to this now. I'm going to ignore you now, Nikki.
Fabulous.
So
let's do it.
Jen,
okay, we're actually going to be putting our zipper tape on.
Jen, are you sewing also the same here? No, cannot hear you.
I mean, that's what I'm waiting on.
Yeah.
You and me are at the same
moving
spot.
along without.
You can't hear me.
We can hear you now.
Really?
Yeah, we can
Oh,
hear.
okay.
So I've just realized, should start unpotting it. Like I've said a few times, I don't follow instructions after I make something a few times. And it turns out I have been making my card holders wrong the whole time. So I was just about to mark center points because I was going to center point my zipper to center point to this. But on the instructions, it actually says to mark a spot and then line your zipper to that.
It works both ways, just in case you have a longer zipper than needed.
I think you're not wrong.
Okay.
Yes, you're not wrong technically. If you use the right zipper, right length zipper. But if you did not see the length of the zipper, then it's important for you to mark the allowance.
Oh, hi, Miss Joyce. It's her first time here. To be honest, it's our first time live together. So we're all at our first together.
So right now we are sewing the zipper. You're facing right side to I think Sam have not sewed. You may want to explain the steps.
Okay, yeah. Oh, so everyone's done. Okay, so there's two ways of doing it. So either find your centers of your front external and your zipper and mark line it up center to center, right sides together. Or, which is probably a better way to do it, especially if you've not done a 90-degree angle before, so this is one of your first times, is to actually mark about 1/2 inch in from the side and line your zipper to that. So both ways work, but if you mark the 1/2 inch and then go that way, if your zipper tape is the wrong length, you're going to have less issues, is what Jassie was just explaining before. We've just had a comment from Holly asking about tester cores. We are not having any tester cores at the moment because we've actually got a giant thing happening at the moment. I can't talk too much about, I think.
I don't think there will be any for the year. It could be the next year. Holly, yeah.
And what we're doing is basting it on. Sorry, I didn't say that. The trickiest part with basting the zipper on for the 90-degree angle is just being really careful with your 90-degree that it still sticks on. So obviously if you base stitched it like Jassie and Nikki, it should go on pretty easily.
I didn't.
If you use the fire method like Jen and I, just make sure that it's still all folding because obviously it's going to fall.
I did not baste it. I used actual
Oh, use the
wire.
lighter too.
I
I'm
didn't
the
use
only
lighter.
scaredy cat here.
I burned my fingers. So good.
Holly's asking us to spill the tea. So,
Not my tea.
not your tea to spill. We are actually in the process of testing something right now. I am hoping that after this, I might have enough time to do the tutorial video for it. So that's how far into the testing we are. So there is a new pattern dropping very, very soon. And there is another pattern that Jassie is already in the prototyping stage. When I say she's in the prototyping stage, she's been in the prototyping stage for like a month for this next bag. Well, not next one, but the one after this one that we're testing. And we're still fine-tuning details, aren't we, Jassie?
Yes, I'm still not happy with some of the details because I need to take into consideration of the sewing machine, because some of them, most of you sew in a domestic sewing machine whereby the shank, the clearance here is shorter. So on certain steps, I need to improve probably on the construction so that when top stitching or stitching on certain assembly, it is easier. I think I got it. I will be testing the final prototype later.
Just jumping on quickly. So after you basted that, we're now doing the lining. So lining right sides together, zipper sandwiched in between. And if you hadn't cut the tape, you will have an overhang. SL Andrews also just suggested a sew along to the Snap and Go duffel. That could be a fun one. I've actually just ordered a bunch of fabric for it too. For those of you who don't know the Snap and Go duffel, that is actually the second pattern I ever bought from, actually, it's the second pattern I've ever bought, full stop. The first pattern I ever bought was the fold and zip backpack. And then the second one I ever bought was, yeah, the Snap and Go duffel. And I was so annoyed too, Jassie. I have a bone to pick with you because I waited for a week or 2 weeks staring at the fold and zip. Oh, yeah, the backpack. Looking for so long. Oh, SL Andrews is Shonda. Oh, hi, Shonda. Sorry. Yeah, I stared at that fold and zip backpack for so long, wanting to buy it. And then eventually I gave it because with well, actually just being me, I couldn't just buy one size. I wanted all 3 sizes. So I wanted to buy the bundle. And then with the exchange rate at the moment, it ended up being $50. So I was like, I have to spend $50 on a backpack. I did it because I really wanted it. I spent so much time looking similar. So I bought it. And then a week later, you bring out the Snap and Go duffel, and then the fold and zip was on sale.
Yeah, the trick is because, but we never know. You never know when is my launch, and while it is hard to end of the day grab the pattern when it's on sale on the first, the most, the second day, maybe the third day will be gone. That's what I always remind myself.
Yeah. And that's what I did wrong because I think I saw the fold and zip on launch. I don't know if when I bought it was a launch discount or if it was another bag. It might have been another bag that was a launch discount and I didn't buy it then. So but yeah, no, the fold and the Snap and Go duffel, that's a really good idea, Shonda. I like that. Because I've recently just bought some new fabrics to make a bunch of Snap and Go duffels.
What fabric are you going to use? Because Snap and Go, I like to use WPC.
Really? I did. I just bought a bunch of deluxe from you because I want to make Snap and Go duffels.
Yeah, the deluxe is good, but the gusset here, at the side gusset, I think WPC 12 can be good. on my camera again. So sorry. I cannot move my hands. Okay, let me go back. Let me go. There's.
I don't know who else has done this bit, whether I've talked about it. So I've just sewn the lining on, and we can see the card slot bit. At the moment, my card slot is still a rectangle because I haven't trimmed it to shape. And this is when I trim it. So I trim it when the lining is against it, so I can trim around the lining corner.
Huh. That's not when I trim it.
When do you trim it?
Nikki, what are you doing?
I trimmed it
Straight after you did it?
Yeah.
I think that's when you're supposed to do it.
I use this piece as the template to just trim the corners.
Yeah, I think that's actually what you're supposed to do, but I always,
Yes. At the end of the day, there's no hard and fast rule because it's going to be together at a later part where we can always trim the corners.
Yeah, that's true. Zipper tape, trim that off. I almost top stitched before I trimmed it. Trim it now because it's easier to do it now. And whenever you trim zipper tape, fire. So I've seen too many videos when I first started, or not videos, but posts, when I first started bag making of zippers failing. And so ever since I've watched that, that's like stuck with me. I will always, always have a lighter to my zipper tapes.
Oh, so if anybody was here when I mentioned my zipper foot, I put that on because it's just easier, especially when I'm not wanting to admit to people that me using my Teflon foot for zippers is doable, but it takes me forever to figure out the proper way to do it to get the right seam allowance. So,
do y'all have any habits when y'all stitch? For me, I do like to hold my both threads, the bobbin thread and the top thread together and back stitch. That is also to prevent the thread from nesting.
Actually, I learnt that trick from you. When you start sewing, to have your threads at the back and hold it down at the back.
Yes.
Ever since I've done that, so many less problems.
oh, and if you're using vinyl for the sides and a thin fabric for the card slots, a hump jumper is amazing.
I used to be really lazy with my hump jumper. And that is one thing I've learned now that you cannot be lazy with. If anyone ever has, if you're newish to sewing or newish to sewing bulk, and you couldn't work out why you have so many skip stitches, it's normally because you need a hump jumper. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Jen uses vinyl. She grabs a bunch of like faux leather vinyl and makes her own little fake hump jumper.
Sewing machine needle plastic cases will also work. Especially if you're using, so my hump jumper, I think they all have the two thicknesses. So if you're using the thicker side, the sewing machine needle cases. Oh no, what did Nikki?
What'd you do?
Oh, I just knocked some things off of the desk. That's to my right. We'll pick that up later. It's been so long since I've made this pattern that I'm having to like thoroughly read the instruction.
Oh, I'm really hoping I'm doing this per the instructions now because I never read the instructions anymore.
I didn't like how I think I didn't sew my zipper correctly and it's lopsided. So I'm going to use my seam ripper to take the whole thing.
Oh no.
Yes. Things happen. You just have to do it.
So I've almost finished on my, well, putting the zipper on. I just need to top stitch that other side as well. Jen's well and truly done.
No, I gotta still top stitch that one.
So this is where we're up to, or at least this is where I'm up to. So we've got the zipper on, it's all top stitched. And yeah, I have a confession to make. So this is a birthing pattern and it needs to be a birthing pattern, but I have attempted to bind it. So for those of you who see me around, you know that I love binding. Actually, is it? I don't know that I've actually binding one. So I'll show you guys, I'll pull all my stuff out. So I actually...
Did you really do that?
Yeah, this one's binded.
Wow.
And the reason I did it is because I didn't, when I first made this, I wasn't in love with my hump jumper yet, so I wasn't using it enough. And so I used to get skip stitches all the time, moving from the external to the lining. Now that I've learned my hump jumper, it's so much easier. But yeah, see, this is all bounded. So it gives you a great finish because obviously the lining fits beautifully and it's perfect. But one of the reasons I like binding is because I don't like birthing. And let me tell you this, birthing a bounded version of this is harder than birthing a birthing version of this. So
Because
do
it's
not
so
do what I did. Do
small.
not bind this.
You almost had me convinced to start
Binding it.
to bind it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the clear vinyl. I think it's the clear vinyl is what makes it harder.
Oh, probably. That makes sense.
But yeah, I love my little card hop. Like putting all my stuff away now. Yeah, so I only ever binded the card holder once. Never again.
Well, I might need to go on mama duty.
Oh.
Oh, is he up?
Yeah, he's waking up. All right, so I'm gonna mute and turn off my camera.
Okay. So I'm gonna keep talking and keep moving on. So what we're now doing is, so we've just done that zipper like this. So now we're going to put the two externals face together. And I like to clip that seam because you want these two to line up perfectly. One of the tips that Jassie had in the charm is actually before you do anything else to baste that seam together. So I am actually going to do that on this, because one of the biggest problems I have, which is why I attempted to bind that one of mine, is when I go between the thickness of the external and the thinness of the lining, my fabric shifts. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip that external so it's matching perfectly, and I'm just going to baste that little bit. I think like every new pattern I learn something new, and that's my biggest takeaway from the charm. So if anyone hasn't seen the charm pattern yet, the Zaria charm, that was my biggest takeaway, was learning how to do the little extra stitching here. Now that I've made sure that's basted and I'm happy, so I know when I bird that that's going to be perfect, I can line the rest of my external right sides together and then do the same with my lining.
Make sure your zipper's open.
Oh yeah. I never open my zipper beforehand. I always do it after, and it always like annoys me. And then I'm doing the same with the lining, just clipping that lining right sides together as well. So you'll end up with external on one side, lining on the other. We're going to leave a big birthing gap there. I pretty much leave it from the whole straight bit down the bottom, because I suck at birthing, so I want the biggest birthing hole possible. And one other thing, like we talked about the hump jumper just before, make sure you use the hump jumper for that edge there where we get into that thick bit. I'm also going to do a larger seam allowance for the lining. So I'm going to do 3/8 seam allowance on the lining and a 1/4 inch on the external. So that just allows the lining to fit a little bit better. So I don't know if you guys can see, so I'm just getting to that external bit now. So I'm just chucking my hump jumper underneath there to help me grab some height as I come across. I do a lot of hand cranking on corners, if anyone's seen that. I just find it easier to go slow so I can get that corner perfect. Coming back into running now, so I'm just pulling the hump jumper back out. So you just want the hump jump there until you reach the same level height, I guess. So your sewing foot's not at a weird angle.
And if you want to...
Oh, Holly's going to be cutting a Zaria tomorrow, the Zaria charm. Zari Charm is such a fun pattern.
Yes, if you want to put a label, which I didn't put in the front, you can put it in between your lining. You may want to baste it about, for me, it's about a 1/4 inch. Are you all done, Sam?
I am, yep. So, this is something that I learnt from Jassie's newest pattern. I didn't do it on this one, but on your opening, instead of stopping here, if you also do a line of stitches right here and right here, that can help with when you're birthing it. But because I didn't do it, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fold these to the seam allowance. So what that does is after it's birthed, it makes it easier. Oh, and Jen has something too.
Yeah, I mean, I had the little L stitches that you were just talking about, but I also put a little bit of double-sided tape under so that when I fold, I can fold against that and it keeps it.
Oh, that's a good idea too. Because I've seen some posts suggest doing like a cut inwards or upwards. So like you do a little diagonal cut there. I've tried that a few times and it doesn't seem to work for me.
Which diagonal? Sam?
Sorry?
No, I think it's breaking up. You mentioned about what cut? Sorry, I'm missing that.
Oh, so with the birthing bit, I like to fold it back. Jen was just saying she does the L stitches like you do. But there are some, I've seen some groups that suggest, I'll do it on this one just to show you guys. So they actually get scissors and they cut a diagonal. Let me cut this and then show you guys. So they cut it like this just before the opening. And then when they turn it, it's supposed to make it easier. It doesn't seem to work as well for me. For me, the best is still pre-folding it, if I remember, so that when I birth it and I have to stitch it closed, it's already in the right spot.
Understand. I have not tried what you have mentioned. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe I can do that.
Okay. So this is, I don't think this is part of the instructions, but this is something I like to do. So you've just sewn this whole thing together. It's all done. You can birth it and be done. But I like to go through on the external side only and do another line of stitches 1/8 in. So just to reinforce those stitches, especially if you used vinyl for the exterior. I've just found with vinyl, it just reinforces your stitches a little bit and holds everything in place more so you don't see stitches coming through. You know how sometimes after you birth the bag, you see stitches along the edge line? This will help minimize it. And that's really just for the external, so you don't have to do it on the lining. It's just the external that you have to do that second line of stitches for. Oh no. I have to birth live on camera.
Do you have a hair dryer?
Are you trying to hide it under the table so we can't see you do it?
No, I'm using a hair.
So if you are not live on video right now, this is definitely one that I would suggest using a hairdryer for, especially because of the clear vinyl.
Yes.
But because we're live, I don't want to pull out a hairdryer and blow it in your ears. Do you know what? I'm wondering now if like Nikki is actually mum dutying or if she's just hiding from birthing, because Nikki hates birthing.
Yes, I suspected that.
That is
Yeah, I
true.
didn't even hear N cry. I think she's just like, I'm running away now.
I came back just
I've
in
just
time
got to this
hear that,
part.
by the way.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I came back just in time to hear that. No, my 2-year-old did indeed wake up. And oh, great. Now my husband just got home. But no, I will finish mine afterwards. But I do hate birthing. But that's because I have past wrist injuries that make birthing difficult for me. Birthing.
Just quickly here. So I'm now at one of the tricky bits. I get stuck on this all the time when I'm birthing. Watch what you're doing because you want to make sure your clear goes to the back and your card slots go to the front. So otherwise you're going to be double birthing.
I made that mistake of the first one I made.
I want to say I've only made that mistake once, but I make that mistake almost every single time. Yeah. If anyone tries to tell me that birthing is easier than binding, you are lying.
No, without a
Jassie
hairdryer
has...
on a clear vinyl is tough. It's tough. And I have a chunky tool, zipper tool, it doesn't help.
No. Jassie has a laptop bag pattern. It is a birthing pattern, and I converted it to a binding. I'm a pro birther.
I can't remember.
I
Is
promise
binding
you.
an option
Hmm?
for the laptop? I'm not sure. Is it? Or is it?
No, it's not an option, but you told me to do it. I think I told you that actually when Jen and I did a moderator challenge, we both did the laptop bag at the same time, and you told us we could try to birth it. We could try to bind it instead.
Find it.
Oh. Okay, I'm going for my hairdryer.
Jassie's giving up.
I don't.
It's too much. It's too much struggle.
I don't even own one.
Because
You don't
my
own a hairdryer?
I don't.
I only own one, and it's in my sewing room. I never use it apart from when I'm sewing.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I might own one.
Because I'm using a clear vinyl, 1 millimeters with a PVC. It just doesn't make sense not to use hairdryer.
Yeah.
Am I?
I'm just too lazy to stand up and go get mine.
No. Excuse me for a while.
Here you go, I'm almost there. It looks like one. Wait, is Jen all done?
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
How did you birth it so quickly?
Jen is all done. That little monster grab that I was doing.
Yeah.
If you stick your hand in there and you grab both ends, like put your fingers in each corner of the exterior, you can pinch it down, and that makes like a little Pac-Man thing. And then you can push and pull that through the opening.
Oh.
I also have small hands.
That
But
helps.
it just all comes through. Yeah.
I'm trying to work out. So this tool I have is a hump jumper / pokey for corners. I'm trying to work out how much I'm going to poke it to make sure I don't poke through.
I know I use my. Yeah, I use my hemostats for that.
Yeah. Oh, I've got one now. Oh, I'm stuck.
Finally.
All right.
Your fancy rainbow ones.
Yeah. How cool is it?
High
All
five.
right. Go back
Mine
to
aren't fancy.
Oh, hemostat was a good call, Jen. Straight away, that was perfect.
Yeah, they give more leverage.
Yeah.
I like to use chopstick for the corners.
I'm not allowed to have chopsticks in my sewing room because every time I have chopsticks in here, my kids steal them. So now that I've finished birthing it and I'm happy, I'm just closing up that opening seam. So ideally, hand stitching it with a slip stitch is best practice, I assume. But does anyone actually do that?
Who hand stitches?
I know, because if you hand stitch with the slip stitching, it actually, like, you don't see it, but no one does it, right?
I don't.
I don't.
I don't.
So what I do is I try to have it as close as possible while still having the two pieces closed shut. So I just have it as close to the edge as possible, or have two pieces closed shut, just close to the wall, and hope. I think sometimes, like, we're too critical on our own work.
Mm-hmm.
I've recently looked at a few bags that are expensive bags. Like, I'm not talking like $1,000 ones, but like $100 brands. And if you look at their stuff, their top stitching isn't perfect. And they're like, you can see their birthing closes, and people still happily pay hundreds of dollars for their bags. So, yeah, we need to be kinder to ourselves.
Sorry, my bobbin ran out.
No.
I didn't use the full bobbin.
I didn't.
I
either.
didn't.
I don't know. Oh. I'm getting low.
Oh.
I just made it out.
I have like a quarter of one left.
Oh, and one little thing as well. After you birth it, the little zipper tabby bit here, I like to just grab something and just kind of rip it through to get it a nice, clean, flat finish there. So just pull it out a little bit and it's a little bit cleaner. So I think we've worked out. So Jen's the quickest out of all of us.
I don't know why everybody like didn't believe me when I said I was the slowest.
You're not that slow.
Sure.
No, you just have to pause for mommy duties.
Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that excuse. Ugh.
I've got my lid right here. Oh. I have a suggestion, Jassie. Can we, for
This is
whoever
dangerous.
joined us and sewed the card holder with us, if they share their make on the SCD Facebook page, can they get double points towards to the Share My Make challenge this month?
Sure, but it's only like 6 days towards end
6
of the
days.
month.
So if you
Yeah,
go along
cool.
live with us, you're getting double points. If you don't know about the Share My Make challenge on the Sophisticated Craft Facebook page, you post a photo of what you made on the wall, and then you post a photo of that bag again into, there's a comment thread, is that what it's called? Like a post.
Feature post.
There's a
Feature-
post.
Yeah, a feature post. And then post it in there as well, and you get points. And at the end of every 2 months, Jassie draws however many winners, and winners get a $10 US dollar gift card towards either Sophisticated Supplies or towards patents.
Yes.
Yes,
and we
So-
have
And
10
I
winners,
won
most
that challenge one time with a card holder.
You've actually won with the card holder.
Really?
Yeah, I won. One of the ones that I won was using the card holder.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, so if
Yeah.
you made this with us, or if you're watching this later on and you make one in the next 6 days, post it on the Facebook page so that you get double points towards that for a chance, or double the chances to win the $10 gift card. Do I get double points too?
Yes, everybody.
Yes.
To me, is as long as testers and moderators are very important to me, as well as the members. So whatever members can enjoy, tester are able to. Definitely.
Ooh, Holly's making a costume. Is this your Halloween costume? Halloween's not huge here in Australia, so I like live vicariously through Facebook posts in the US.
Oh my God, my hands.
Are you birthing right
Are
now?
you trying to close the bag now?
Yeah,
Nice.
getting there. Ugh.
How dare you not change the camera angle so we can't watch you suffer?
Well, I had to change it to the back camera because I realized when I was sewing that like my face was right up at the camera. So apologies to everyone who had to see that.
Jen, I love the butterfly. It's beautiful.
Thanks. I got a good
Can I
thing
see the
on
other
that
That is
too.
such good fuzzy
Blue.
cutting.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's my giant face because I'm like, I want to see it.
Try and make sure there's not a glare from the vinyl.
Wow.
Gorgeous.
Well,
Is that your cat? Oh, hi.
Yes. It's, I told you, it's normal cuddle time. My kids may or may not be asleep by now, so this is usually her time.
Rochelle's about to go walk her dog before bed. And my poor little guy, he's not little, is he? My poor pad puts just on the other side of the door. I left him out today because I'm like, I'm not trusting you in here.
Holly is going
Holly.
to batch 5.
That'll be good. Seriously, try to do the card slots. If they're all the same color, you're using the same fabric for the card slots. Try and do 2 of those at a time with the top stitching. It's genuinely such a time saver. They're waiting on Nikki.
no, you do not need to wait on me.
But we are.
We are waiting on you. Yeah, this is awesome. I had fun. I don't know if anyone who's watching had fun or if we talked too much.
I mean, like a 30-minute pattern, I think took us like 2.5 hours, but
I think maybe we did talk too much.
No.
But yeah, if
Yeah, you do not.
anyone has
That's why-
any feedback, any tips, anything you'd want us to see, well, anything you want us to change, do, let me know. Because I'm happy to follow feedback. I'm always open to feedback.
Yes.
Rochelle's waiting for you too, Nikki.
Oh my God. The pressure.
We just want to see what you've made.
A mess. I've made a mess.
Dad, you can't pass it through the screen. Like for you.
Oh my God. My hands are
Can we
dead.
see Jassie's?
But I thought you sorry?
Can I see your one a bit closer to the camera?
You mean mine?
Yeah, your card holder. I think I
Oh,
wasn't paying
I need
attention when you
two.
held it up.
This is with the clear.
Oh,
Then this is the on this I made two for those who didn't see it earlier. Can you see?
that one.
I didn't
So
see
normally-
yours too. Where is yours?
This one's mine.
Normally, I would set this to the side until tomorrow to finish top stitching the lining because birthing literally kills my hands. Like I can't. My hands are shaking, so I'm like, I'm trying to close this gap, and it's a challenge. Oh, I love the cat.
So Rochelle, so Jassie did
She
clear
is
on one
something else.
side and card slot on the other side. So what she meant was the other one that she did was card slots on both sides. If anyone can see, this is my darling
Yes.
husband, fiance, Charlie,
Hi, Charlie.
stealing things.
Hi.
Ooh, put it in clothes dryer for a couple of minutes. I've actually thought about that, Rochelle. So does that work? Especially if I'm batch sewing a few, that could be awesome.
Put it in a what?
Putting it in the clothes dryer for a couple of minutes.
No.
Mm.
Do you have a space heater?
No. I'm in
Oh my-
Australia. It doesn't get that cold.
I live in Florida. No.
Oh,
There we go.
I
it's
get cold
beautiful.
very easily. Aw.
Oh, that's pretty.
Okay.
That's awesome. Holly mentioned that the video kept buffering and freezing a bit. I think that's my
No.
fault. That's my internet. So that's something that we're going to have to try and work on. Rochelle said, put in a pillowcase and tie it. So
I can see you. But
So we can always try it on one of ours.
yeah, we could definitely do that. We'll try that next time. Do it on someone else's internet. But
Yeah, I can see if I
Yeah.
could use mine. My internet should be pretty good.
yeah, that'd be awesome. I know in Australia we have like subpar internet. I don't know. So we've got something called NBN, National Broadband Network. If there's any Australians on, I don't know if there's any Australians watching us at the moment. But our house has the National Broadband Network, and it's supposed to be faster than 5G. It's supposed to be so good. Da 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 da. Charlie, my partner, he moved over from Scotland because of me, and he complains daily how slow we are.
Yeah, we pay for gig speeds,
Ah,
so our speed test is a lot. It's usually pretty good.
ah. See, we don't have that option. It's just, this is what you get.
Let's see.
Awesome. Does anyone have any questions or anything before we all disappear? Anyone have anything they want to talk about? Otherwise, it's like
Well,
1 o'clock my
new
time. I'm
pattern.
hungry.
Yeah. Yeah. Gonna go.
Awesome. So we've all made a little card holder. Hopefully some of you guys have joined in live and did one as well, but if not, and you're making one later on while you're watching, make sure you share it on the Sophisticated Craft Facebook page. I've managed to convince Jassie to give us double points towards the share your make, so make sure you do that. Follow along for other
Should we
stuff
come up
that's
with a
coming
hashtag?
soon. Yes, let's do a hashtag. What was the one? Hashtag SCD sew and chat?
No, maybe live soul chat. Is that
Live sew chat.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
hashtag live sew chat. Here you
Good
go.
night.
That will be awesome. So, yeah, we're all done. So we'll head off and see you guys soon. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel and all of our channels. So again, we've got Jassie from Sophisticated Craft Designs, Nikki from Resin Melody, and Jenn from Jenn's Homemadeology. So we'll see you guys next time. We'll definitely set up another group so soon. But otherwise, I'm Sam from Made by Erilyn. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.